It's a journey, y'all. It's called the journey within. That's what my friend said to me. She said,
Genius.
there's no greater journey than the journey within.
Hey. All right. Let the boy get comfy. Here we are, gang. Here we are. Another episode of the Daily Spread. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here with me. Welcome to another episode of the Daily Spread. It's your host doing the most, G3E, the one and only. Thank you to our guardians, our angels, our guardians, our ancestors, the ascended masters. May this reading be well. May the message be swell. And in the highest vibration of love we dwell. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the place. Thank you for the space. And thank you for the grace. Ooh. Yeah, just to remix the intro one time, but always appreciating, always spreading love. I'm coming at you this evening with another message that I had actually downloaded. It's actually been coming to me for like a little while, but I actually drew some things, and I just want to explain what this is first, and then I'll show you like some of the things that I drew. And then, as always, the boys led, where we take the journey within, and on this journey we are led, that's part of the intro usually. The starseed deck that I used in the previous reading, it was like, nah, we're not done yet, we got some more, let's cook. So, I have a pre-pull here with these cards here. So far, oh goodness, my table. We have the Star Keeper, Cosmic Ancestors, Seek the Light by Staying Grounded, Star Ancestors, Hidden Secrets, Lost Wisdom, Look a Little Deeper. And then on the right hand side we have the Courageous Peony, Multifaceted, Unique Nature, Let Yourself Be Seen. I must say, already just off rip, I was like, okay, 2 ancestor messages, and one of them is now about this being integrated in a sense. I think it's important for us, especially in whichever era it is that we are in our lives, a new year, a new month, a new season, and we're still breathing, impact season for us over here at Roots Holistic. I just feel like firstly, we're not alone. We're never alone, right? And we always have to do our absolute best to be our best. When we face our trials and tribulations, we know that spirit is near. We know that spirit is here, and we are going to be tested. We're going to be resurrected. We're going to just go through all these wonderful and amazing things that are only just going to bring out the best in us. Just as much as I tell you that I'm always led, even what I wear before I get into a reading, even in my day-to-day, I'll wear a certain pair of shoes only to find that spirit orchestrated some interaction with someone where they actually make a comment about those shoes. It's a compliment, or we end up sparking up a conversation about the color, the make, the design, or even me selling sneakers. I mean, just look at all of those sneakers up there, you know what I mean? But today, with this shirt that I'm wearing over here, oh, I hope you like my hamster there. It's really cool. This is hematite. But anyways, as you can see, it's got a ship, right? And this ship is moving. And how this now it's coming through, this relates to this reading, is that letting yourself be seen. It's let me see what's actually going on here. Okay, cool. Okay. I was actually wondering if some of the stuff on my phone was visible on the camera, but you know what, it's whatever. Look, I'm letting myself be seen, right? I come on now. Anyway, yes, the ship and letting ourselves be seen. Ships are usually following a lighthouse, and we are the lighthouses, the collective. We have to shine this light. We have to make ourselves visible And I think for a long time, you know, especially being someone who's like, you know, quite empathic and so on, I would often feel like I'm the bridge for people, you know, kind of having to like overextend myself, which is what this reading is about, and kind of allow them to cross that bridge. But being the lighthouse and being seen means that we can just show them where we are and, you know, like shine the light so they can follow the light and like just make their way to it or to us, wherever we are or wherever they need to go. Because I would find that, you know, I'm placed in a position where I can not only guide others, but I also need to guide myself. I also need to remind myself, like, yo, dude, do you know who you are sometimes? You know, that always happens. Ooh, I got no rings on today. And I feel like I should get one, but let me see. It's okay. Let's trust. Or should we? Okay, give me a second. All right, I'm back. And Spirit's like, yo, take the stars, bro, because you're letting yourself be seen. Stars are seen, you know what I mean? Here we go with the stars out here. Alrighty. But yes, let's go on. So we are the lighthouse. We are shining our light, you know, we're the stars out here. And, you know, a star will be seen at any night sky or any time in the night sky, right? So, oh wow, look at this. Spirit's like just putting my putting my hands here. Goodness gracious. Star ancestors, star keeper. Yeah, the time when I paused was like 5:38, and then it was like now 6:38. But I don't know, 668 also came to mind. I don't know what that's all about, but I'll try to add the angel numbers to the bottom of the reading in the description. But here we are, bruh, like star on the right, star on the left, like, yo, Spirit, cook. Cook, my G, cook. Got some juice with me today, you know, some green, some orange juice. Got like some apple, orange, I think it has pear in it as well. But yeah, it's quite a nice juice. I'm enjoying it. But yeah, man, it's like, let us be seen. And, you know, like we're saying, stars in the night sky. Outside of these cards both saying stars, I mean, they have galaxies in them. You can see as you look up at the top of them, you're seeing the stars in the night sky. Is my recording still going? Yes, it is. Okay, perfect. So it's like, yo, we are gonna do the absolute most, gang. We are just, you know, definitely there's a synchronicity here with both of these having the word star, both of these coming together. You know, two stars, and even I saw two cars with blank number plates, both of them black, so it's like 2x2 type of a thing. But anyway, let me go into like this download real quick. So anyways, the first thing that came through was, remember, okay, we're talking about overextension 808. And yo, I feel like this message is being ushered in and it's taking a while, but I'm trusting it's happening as it should. Anyways, the first thing that came to mind was like a rubber band, and a rubber band is being stretched. And that is us overextending ourselves. And while a rubber band is designed to extend and stretch itself, at a certain point, it could or would or will snap. So it's also about knowing our limits, right? So that's what I drew over there. As you can see, there's a rubber band over there. Well, don't mind my drawing. This was me drawing with my stylus pen. So yeah, that's it. Okay, so the next one, it's now I got an image of this rubber band being around people. So it's like we are stretching ourselves for the people in our lives. You know, sometimes it's like an expectation. Sometimes it's like maybe a role that we play. Let's say you like the breadwinner. You know, you stretch yourself. You go hard in the paint because you're trying to make sure that everybody's fed. Other times, you know, we stretch ourselves at work because we have a project to complete and we, you know, putting in the hours. But you get what I'm saying, right? We stretch ourselves not only for ourselves but for the people in our lives. And what I was also tuning into over here is I wrote down here, everyone is together. So it's like the rubber band is also in a position to encapsulate, you know, to keep all your people together. Right now it's coming to mind is even possessions, like all the things that you are looking after. You want to like put a rubber band around them as like a means of protection and a means of caretaking. You know what I mean? Something else was coming to mind there, but the thought escaped me right now. Goodness gracious. Okay, it'll come back to me. I trust. As always, I trust what's happening here. So it's like, oh, okay, hold on. The rubber band is around the people. Okay, so clearly this download, it's evolving. I just saw 1023, which is 1, 2, 3 if we reduce the 0. So it's like even in alignment, we overextend or we stretch ourselves for the people around us. We're also keeping them together, tied together as well, bound together as well. So the overextension is also binding. Hey, Spirit? Yeah. Wow. It's interesting that like it comes through like that because, with our families, we are quote unquote bound by blood. And then with the places that we work, using both examples now, we are bound by like a contract. And with this being about overextension is to say there's a certain amount that we need to fulfill. Oh, here we go. And we need to act within or operate within our threshold, because if we're overextending, then we are ultimately giving too much or putting ourselves at risk of the first part, which is the rubber band stretching so much that it snaps. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, cool. All right, let's keep it pushing. I feel like there's more to that, but Spirit's like, nah, let's go. Let's get through these images. So anyways, the next image that I drew here now, it's like picture an hourglass, right? But this is what happens. It's like now the band has stretched and like tightened up in a sense. And then you see that because where's the previous image? So it tightened up around the people. And it tightened up around these people so much that it ended up creating an hourglass. So you can see now there's a division there. Some people at the top, some people at the bottom, but ultimately the band is still there. So the first thought that I had was like, yes, it's an hourglass. So it's like a passage of time where, with the hourglass, like days of our lives. So in the days of our lives, we're going to expand and retract. There'll be times when we overextend. There's times when we are not overextending at all. We are just holding whatever it is that we need to hold. We need to hold the energy at times, and other times we need to allow the energy to breathe, to expand, right? But with the hourglass, getting like a passage of time as well. But then it's interesting, as I wrote here, time, it also, like my pen wasn't really like catching the stroke of the T. I was like trying to cross my T's and it didn't work. Oh my gosh, there's this download coming through right now. I was trying to cross my T's and it didn't work because of this hourglass and the separation of people. So instead of me having written it as time, I have it written as lime. So it's like, even with me now thinking about cooking and stuff, we in the kitchen, lime and like lemons balance acidity, right? So you'll see there it is. It's like lime over there, as you can see. So it needs like that line across it. So what is the line going across? But the line going across is this rubber band separating the people, creating this hourglass. Whoa, that's crazy. But I was just thinking about this group and the separation between a group, or like, people at the top of the hourglass, people at the bottom of the hourglass. I'm also thinking, with all dualities, all dichotomies, there could be like masculine, feminine, your spirit team, yourself, your higher self, the spirit realm, the physical realm. You know what I mean? It could even be like a crossing of dimensions in a sense, but it's like something really big gets really small and it gets really big again. So it's almost like going through like a portal or like a process of sorts where, you know, things are reduced just so that they can expand over time. So it's like going through a very tough time, and then things look like nothing's really happening, you know, nothing's really moving, but then you make it through on the other side and you expand all over again, you know. But something else that came through is about past lives. So in this image, like, okay, let me just, oh goodness gracious, let's zoom in. So in this image over here, there's like a card in the Osho tarot deck where, you know, it shows past lives and it shows people almost inside of an hourglass. So there's something also about past lives, and I'm thinking maybe that this is like that portal to say there were people in our past lives, and then, you know, here we are in the new life. I'm even looking at that. There's 3 people there, there's 2 people there. I'm taking that as a synchronicity, something about 32. You know, that could be your age, that could be, you know, wherever you at. In fact, I'm 32 right now, but that's like according to Gregorian calendar years. But as we know, there's like less months in the year if you actually look at what the months are named, and 2 extra months were added, and, you know, just Google like different things about the calendar. I think it'll make sense to you. But yeah, it's like whatever was happening in the past life needed to be brought forward into this life. I'm even getting something about children. Maybe there was supposed to be 3 children, now you have 2 children, or you had 2 children and you want to have 3 children. I don't know. I don't like know who has children here in the collective, but again, it's just coming through right now, you know. Yeah, I'm looking forward to having children at some point. But anyway, yeah, man, there's just something here about the past lives. And of course, with me getting that as a portal, and, you know, now this whole spiritual physical, it's like people are materializing or coming to be over time in different lifetimes. And then also with the children, like, you know, you can kind of also look at that as like a cavity of like, you know, being born. So if you have like 2 children, you might have 3 more children. So like they're gonna cross over and like go from that side to that side, go from, okay. Well, I don't know. Something crazy is happening here. But as always, we trust. Then the last image that I got that came to mind was like a dumbbell, you know, like, you know how you stretch your hand and so on. So there, as you can see, it's the dumbbell. But because I drew it right after the hourglass, it's almost like the dumbbell or the hourglass has like moved to its side, you know what I mean? So it's like it's initially like this. This is the hourglass, and then it changes and becomes like this. So the first thing I thought was like, now you carrying this weight, you know, you actually like using it to exercise. And, you know, as I'm thinking about the weight, I'm also thinking about a pause period where, you know, you take your breaks like between sets, you know what I mean? So it's like like you're lifting up for a few moments and then you wait, but then you also have a weight. So it has like a mass, it has a magnitude. So it's about being able to carry the weight, right? The visualization of it being straight and then turning sideways gave me a change of perspective on time. Because if we are looking at the hourglass as like time going down in a linear, in that what is this? Vertical sense, then we now look at time in a horizontal sense. So it's like already with me doing this, it's like creating an axis. But then also me thinking about the actual like stretching, you know, it's like your arms doing a curl. So things are curling in a sense. I don't know what it is, but there's an arm curl. And then of course it's the extension itself. It's like, you know, putting your arm out, letting your arm back in, putting your arm out, letting your arm back in. And then also me just thinking about how, because of the weight and how muscles grow, we have to, like, there's pain resulting in gain. So, you know, it's like you carrying this weight is like leading to some kind of growth or some kind of expansion. Of course, in this case, I'm thinking about muscles, right? But with this overextension, the next part that came through that I wrote down here is being or becoming an extreme version of what you did not have. So, it's like, let's say you wanted people to stretch for you. You wanted people to encapsulate you. You wanted time. You wanted to expand. But because you were not receiving that, now you became that for other people. But then becoming an extreme or an exaggerated version of that is the overextension, because we just need to extend ourselves and come back, extend, come back. But then if you like overextending, it's like, yo, you're going too far, you're giving too much, 2002. And it's like it's over giving, it's overextending. So I'm not saying that like we shouldn't give, we should give, we should receive as well, but giving too much means you're left with nothing. It means that you are in a shackle, in a cage, chained up. Ooh, you know what, here's another synchronicity with what I'm wearing today. I mean, look all around the wrist, it has like chains, right? But what's in the middle? What's in the middle? A star! And the star breaks the chains. The star breaks the chains. Goodness gracious, Spirit is cooking. Yo, Spirit don't play, bruh. It's like, yo, you're gonna wear this t-shirt, you're gonna pull out these cards, you're gonna wear these rings. What? Wow. But anyway, yo, let that bitch breathe. Let that bitch breathe. Who's that? That's Jay-Z. Woo. All right, let's breathe, man. Interesting. I'm saying let that breathe because there was like a break in the channeling at this point. So like I was saying, this channel was coming over time. So that was the first part of it. The second part of it is now I'm driving, and I see two cars, one truck, one sports car, a G-Wagon, and then I saw, was it a Porsche or Ferrari? But anyways, both of them are all black, and both of them have blank number plates. In fact, they don't even have number plates. So, yo, of course we were thinking about like things coming two at a time, but I mean, how do I see two all black cars, one big, one small? I'm even being led back to, the image here that I drew with the people, right? So it's like there's the two there at the bottom. So it's like it's almost like that's been, I don't know, brought down or manifested. But that's really cool. I mean, like that's really dope, right? To two cars over there, and they both all black. They both have blank number plates. So it's like they are still being identified. They are still being, brought in, like through the hourglass, through time. They kind of come in, but it's like the number plate outside of it, like having a identification for the car and its association. Oh my goodness, what's happening? What you saying, Spirit? There's something about an energy being malleable, and with these cars being black, it's like it's still in like a void. And then also from big to small, like, oh goodness gracious, like in this void there's big there at the top, there's small there at the bottom, like 3 and then 2, right? Wow. And I saw the big car first, then I saw the small car, which of course is showing this passage of time. Things are coming down, but it's still being defined, it's still being associated, it's still being established, it's still being given its like coordinates, it's still being given like its name, its plate, it's like it's being served. Oh wow, like it's still being decided how it's going to be served. The universe is still deciding how these two changes or this overextension is going to be served, because we were overextending before. Now it's a matter of saying we're gonna extend in a different way. Spirit saying read the next one. Sunshine through the clouds. Oh yes, so it was actually raining. So the sunshine coming through the clouds, it's like a change of season, right? Or a change of atmosphere, a change of season, or a change of time from towards a rainy time to a sunny time. So again, with the hourglass, from one part of the glass to another part of the glass, from a past life to the current life, it's like where maybe things were dark in your previous season, your new season, you'll be shining because the sun is gonna shine through, even though that gap right there is very small. Even though that gap right there is very small, it's still being encapsulated, it's still being protected for you, it's in the ring. Because you were in the ring. Oh my gosh, collective, what did you go through? But yes, the sunshine is going through the clouds, so definitely something is peeking through. I'm also seeing like clouds over here as well, and in these clouds we have the ancestors showing up, right? Okay, and then this I saw just as I was like, I think I was still in the car, getting out of the car, but there was a notification of a wish list item on sale, and in this case it was me checking out the PSN store, and it was saying like, a game was on sale, which in this case was Spider-Man 2. And here we are again with the number 2, right? So Spider-Man in this case is Peter Parker and Miles Morales. But yeah, there's just something about, whatever it is that is on our wish list. Of course, this speaking to an item, but Spirit's telling me now that it could also be an energy, because energies are associated to everything, has an energetic frequency, colors, people, places, spaces. There's energy in all of those things. So wherever wow, goodness gracious. No, I'm saying wow because like I'm seeing the smoke of the incense, but as it goes over the candle flame, it like formed like this type of a whirlwind type of a thing going on there. It's like twirling. Whoa, that looked beautiful. Whoa, that was cool. And I'm even getting this visualization of the clouds and how, like, because you survived the whirlwind, because you survived the storm, the items on your wish list and the energy on your wish list is going to be granted, and it's going to come through at a sale. It's going to come through at I would say at a discount, or at a cheaper price, or at an achievable price, or it's going to be like attainable. Ultimately is what Spirit is trying to say, is to say that what you once thought of maybe as being difficult before, it's going to be presented to you in a much more easier way. Wow, interesting. And then the last part of this was the number 15, or it could be 1500. So this could be like the 5th of January, the 1st of May, or it could be 3 o'clock in the afternoon, like 1500. Right now it's 2750 on the watch, so 275. I don't know if that relates as well. But yeah, I wrote down here 15 or 1500 is when the movement starts. So of course, movement, I'm thinking about the extension, the arm curls, carrying the weight, the perspective or the shift changing of time. But also the movement starts of maybe even like how things are moving through the hourglass, the sand through the hourglass. But of course, in this case, it's energies, it's entities, it's people. I'm even getting something about the veil being maybe quite thin, maybe between the spiritual realm and the physical realm. So like things are going to start moving down, or like blessings, come down, because, we manifest these things and they already exist in the spiritual realm. And then they start coming down into the physical realm. So yeah, there's just something important about 3 o'clock. I mean, I like posting these readings at 3 o'clock, sometimes it's 3:30, so I don't know, but there's just something about 15 or 1500. But yeah, that's the download part of the message. I know that took a minute, but I trust that there's something to this. Let me just put my phone down, and yeah, let's get into it. So today I brought out this new deck. I've never used it before. It's called Thoth. And apparently this is like the original tarot deck, designed by Aleister Crowley, painted by Lady Frida Harris. So yeah, let's see what's cooking, man. And this is how it looks at the back. First card that we have here, oh wow, before I shuffle, it's the universe. So yeah, just check that out. We've got the universe. Ooh, interesting. I think that the visuals on this card, oh, this is like the world. And we were just talking about a whirlwind. Goodness. Yo, the visuals on these cards are like, yo, there's like, the energy coming off of these cards is insane. Goodness gracious. What? Okay, but what's happening here in this world card? I mean, it looks like a snake, right? That this lady's on. But then this snake kind of looks like a harp as well. And then also there's like an eye or a vision. So it's like this vision brought out this snake. But okay, of course, you have the snake 2025. But, you know, of course, whenever you find this, it's meant for you. Or there's something in here for you. Collective message, of course. Oh my gosh, come on now, I just got this deck, don't get screwed up now. But what's going on, man? Yeah, there's just something about transformation, of course, you know, with this being the world. And, you know, I'm also getting all the elements, you know, with the four corners here as well. And I mean, traditionally the world card has like four angels, and they are also like depicted as animals. So there is something about animal spirits, of course, right? But for me, just to see this lady carrying this harp that looks like, you know, it's, I don't know, it's like some kind of extension into this eye or into the world. But yeah, let's see what's cooking, man. I don't know. I don't know. Like, Spirit's got something. Yo, these cards are small too. Okay, but let's go. Spirit, where we starting? In the middle. Alright. Woo! Okay, come on. First one already. Oh, you wanted to stay, clearly. You wanted to stay, universe. Okay. The universe wants to stay. Okay, you got a friend. The Prince of Cups. That's the Ace of Cups. I mean, not the Ace of Cups. Knight of Cups, right? Yeah. Okay, all three, it's fine. Okay, we're starting in the middle, that's fine. Go again, no. Okay, what is this? Dominion. Oh, yo, guys, this might take a minute. Again, first time using this deck, so I really don't know what's about to happen. Okay, Spirit's like, no, we're not doing reversals, okay. Not doing reversals. Yeah, that's the grace, right? That's the grace. Oh wow, we've got another snake. We've got the Ace of Discs. We've also got Sorrow. But it looks like also 1, 2, 3, and I remember saying 1, 2, 3 earlier. Okay. Let's put this way. So we're not doing reversals today. Ace of Discs. So this is Ace of Pentacles, right? And then we've got Discs again. This is change. So it's discs, and then swords. So this one here, wow, change, and it has a manifestation sign. I mean, here's the 8 with the Ouroboros. That's what's coming through, and then also like manifestation and so on. And then of course this looks like, you know, the Ace of Swords, because there's only one sword in here, or actually there's 3 if I look at that. So it's like what, 3 of Swords, and okay, that aligns with Sorrow. Okay, I fucks with that. Okay, and then this one is Ace of Discs. But which disc is talking about change? Because if it's what, you know, if I'm seeing the number 8, oh, but then it says 4 there in the middle. So 4 to 8, that's also what's something that's coming through. But now I'm actually realizing that these are like Egyptian symbols. Whoa. Whoa. And look how I even structured these cards. There's 2 and then there's 3, right? And then here with me also thinking about these being like Egyptian inspired. I mean, what's going on here, guys? There's Egyptian like obelisks in the reading. I'm getting definitely like Thoth, Ra, oh wow, no wonder you wanted to come out today. Goodness gracious. Yo, this energy is on some other right now. Whoa. So, okay, let's start from the top down. Okay, Spirit saying, trust me, it'll make sense. Okay, let's go. Again, sorry, I'm just being caught by the visuals on these cards. Goodness gracious. Wow. Okay. All right, let's go. So, Star Ancestors, hidden secrets, lost wisdom, look a little deeper. I mean, that's exactly what I've been doing, right? Looking deeper into these cards because there's wisdom in here. I think there's, a message not only for the collective, but for me reading here is to say there's so much depth in these cards that, or in this reading that we're going to have to come back to it. We're going to have to review these cards and having spent more time with these cards, there's going to be some kind of message being delivered through this, right? So, if I'm just running through them all, just like by sight, it's like the universe through the Prince of Cups. With these two, this is the first 2 things that is happening. And the Prince of Cups usually is like, an offering of love, an offering of like, a new treaty, I mean, it's like, coming in peace as well. I just saw the clouds again with the smoke again. Oh my gosh, it's like something's coming through the clouds. Look at him over here, something's coming through the clouds, and I'm just getting something that like, look at this Prince of Cups, this Knight of Cups coming through the clouds, riding this eagle. So it's like, because of you having been in the storm, yo. Because of you having been in the storm, a new opportunity is being offered to you, a new love, a new connection, a new way to express yourself, like there's just an offer coming in. This could also be like I'm saying, an opportunity, could be a new contract, could be something new, some information as well. I'm getting like the Page of Swords in my mind's eye right now. But right now, I just get that this is something that is actually going to put you at ease. This is something that's going to like give you some kind of peace of mind. That's why I was saying an offering of peace. So it's like a peace offering as well. Somebody could be offering you something that is actually yours. That is actually going to bring you some kind of like rest, some kind of peace. It's almost like something was hidden from you again, which is here again, look with the hidden secrets. And it's like as soon as you have this thing, it's actually going to bring some kind of totality or completion to the world. And even with me seeing the world with this eye on it, oh, okay, we in. Okay, here we go. There's something that you didn't see. And this is actually what is making its way to you. And it's making its way to you really quickly. It's flying in. I'm even getting the 8 of Wands in my mind's eye right now. So whatever is actually coming through is actually something that has been hidden from you. And with the going deeper, looking a bit deeper, I'm seeing how it's going to not only give you a different perspective of the world or even your own world, but then it's a matter of saying that you now gonna have to pay attention to the world in a different way. Because with me even looking at how this eagle is like head down in the water, I'm even getting something about different mediums, and like there's like this plane and then the water plane and like a medium. So it's like it's moving through a medium. It's like how like electricity can move through the water as well. Like you can get shocked even though the the outlet or the spark is on the other side. For as long as you are in the water, you can also be electrocuted. So it's like this information is currently moving through a medium to make its way through you. Yo, goodness gracious. I'm even thinking about like how you could be like a spiritual medium, and it's making its way as a channeling, like it's a medium coming through someone who knows how to channel. So this, oh wow, this Prince of Cups, it's definitely coming through like that. And interestingly how I see this eagle at the bottom, and then I also see one there at the top. It actually looks like this Prince of Cups is on a chariot, and this chariot, it's like, I don't know, it goes above the water, but then it also is linked to the air. So, you know, usually we see these figures on horses. So it's like now we've moved from the earthly plane, and now we're in like being on land, sorry. Now we're in the air, and now we're in the water. Interesting, I'm saying that because of like how I was speaking to the universe card having these elements in it, right? Ooh, spirit's coming through right now. We busting. So if we have air and water, then what you are gonna get is something about fire and earth. So there we go again with the number 2. So it's like that's what's like coming through. Let's do what we do. Goodness gracious, my throats, bruh. And there's notification right there. It's from Take a Lot. People were taking a lot, and somebody just tried to tap into our energy just now, because that's what the notification is saying, right? It's just now. But then also it could also speak to this information. I don't know when you are receiving this message. It could also be like, you know, with the timing that I was mentioning with like 15 or 1500, that as soon as we hit the 15th of, I don't know, January, the 15th of December, I don't know what the case may be, or at 1500 hours, it's gonna come in very quickly. It's gonna come in just now. So something very important about that. But then again, you know, with this information that is coming into us, with this offering that is coming into us, what it's coming through with is, here we see, you know, the Ace of Discs, change and sorrow. So wow, Ace of Pentacles, you know, I mean, this is like a new idea. This is a new home. This is a new job. This is again a new opportunity. So it's like something fresh, a new start. This could also be a new idea, a new business, a new venture. I don't know what this is for you, but it's like this could also be somebody wanting to come and collaborate with you. And it's, you know, kind of coming through as like this person was hidden from you and they're gonna come in quite quickly. I'm also looking at how, you know, around this Ace of Discs, it looks like a lot of wings are encapsulating it or around it. And it's like, you know, I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of wings. So it's like whatever is going to rise up from this opportunity is actually going to allow some kind of elevation, not only for you, but the people around you. Ooh, confirmation verb. And then it's like there's something about nature, and ooh, I was thinking about nuts and like pines, but then also, you know, I was just getting something about the feathers and peacocking. So it's like these feathers are about to expand, these feathers are about to go out. So it's like here's a peacock at the bottom and the top, and then also like on left to right, it's like now these golden feathers. I'm getting that image of you know, in Yu-Gi-Oh, when he has like those god cards, and then there's like the god card Ra, it's like a golden bird. Goodness gracious, Egypt energy is like hella strong right now. Goodness, whoa. But it's like, yeah, that god card, yo, if you know what it is, please comment below, man. Let's do this exchange of energy. But it's like this peacock is turning into a god card, a phoenix. But then it's also being balanced because it's left to right, up to down, as above, so below, left, right. You know, it's all dichotomy, it's all balanced out here. But it's like this, you know, even the shape here, I was getting something about like a flower of life, you know, or something to do with like sacred geometry. So this was like some sacred information. But once it makes its way to you, now you have this new start, this new opportunity. Then, of course, leading into everything else, again, guys, let's just remember, or let's just put our eyes to this, because we've got like a 1, 2, 3, so things are in alignment, right? So here's another one with the discs, and this is change. I don't know, there's something, which disc card, which pentacle is about change? Because me seeing the number 8, I thought, okay, is it 8 of pentacles, which would of course speak to you know, still putting in the work. And when you put in work on something, change, it means it's going through a process. But also with me looking at the imagery and like thinking about the Ouroboros, right? It's like, you the snake eating its tail speaks to life, and that cycle, the continuation. It's like, even the manifestation, goodness, like, whoa, there's just so much coming through with this card right now. The yin and yang, the balance, of the dichotomies, which is like which is what we were getting to over here. And it's like there's this equal exchange and change, exchange. I don't know if this is coming through from like somebody that you were once dating before, but the X has changed. There's, oh wow, like, yo, the X has changed. Like how they say X marks the spot as well. So it's like you were targeting, let's say, like a particular spot or a particular direction, but now with this new information and this secret or truth being revealed, now the target has changed, the X has changed, the target has changed. But outside of me thinking about it being the 8 of Pentacles, I was of course looking at the crown there, and I started thinking, could it be like what's this, which King or Queen of Pentacles? So whatever it is, for the mere fact that it says discs there, I can only think that this is something to do with earthly energy. So our time, our energy, our money, our home, our career. So definitely this is like some change in that. And wherever that change is taking place, it's because of this information coming through to us. And it's actually a new start for our home, our career, our relationships, even something to do with how we spend our energy as well. And lastly, with the sorrow, I'm looking at this as 3 of Swords. But, interestingly, I'm seeing the first sword and then the other 2 swords are like, to the sides. So it's like there's some truth that like kind of cuts through the noise, right? And I'm even looking at like how these little pieces of glass look like they've shattered all around. So with that in mind, it's like, how does one sword cut through 2 other swords? It's like this sword is sharper than the other 2 swords. It's like there's the highest truth. There are some truths that will make their way through other people's lives, with me even thinking about the swords being fire, and this being the 3 of Swords. It's interesting like how usually in the Rider-Waite tarot deck there's like a storm, and now I'm being led to, wait, no, not fire, it's air. But of course I'm trusting this, right? There's something about how the fire is, oh wow, okay, here we go, thank you, Spirit. Yo, these downloads are coming through so quickly, goodness gracious. There's the air like makes the fire stronger. Now they're giving me the image of the whirlwind again. Wow, the fire was moving the air. Woo, my boy, my girl. Whoa, sometimes you just have to like listen and let them cook, man. So it's like, yo, this truth comes in quickly. This information comes in quickly, but it's causing up a stir, where this fire burns through whatever was like a facade, this lie, because I'm getting that like the sword of truth cuts through all the other false truths, or what was meant to be a lie. I'm also getting this image of a rose over here. Not only am I seeing like the rose in the foreground, but also in the background. And in the background, it kind of looks like it's withering or wilting away. But then this one in the middle, it's like it's a new sprout. It's like it's actually coming towards us, while the sun, wow, it's like, okay, the sun, I'm going to take that as the sun. Ooh, it's even Libra energy. So this is actually bringing things into balance. I'm seeing the Libra signs here. Whoa, wait, do all these cards have like star signs on them? Whoa, okay. So that's actually, okay, let's just move. Yo, guys, these cards. So it's like, yo, this truth comes in, brings balance, and it brings illumination. It brings the sun. It sheds light on what was hidden, what was deep, right? And it's like, look at the wilting flower. It's so much bigger. It's occupying the whole frame. But then the new one, the new flower that's like sprouting up, it's just like bubbling up. And it's because we've been able to cut through the noise. We've been cutting through the lies. And then look at those other two swords there. You know, it's kind of like looking like a mustache in a sense. I don't know if this is information about a masculine figure. Ooh, something about your father, something about your grandfather. Yeah, something about your lineage, you know, because this is under the ancestors, right? So something historical, something that was hidden in the past is making its way to now. And you know how we know Egypt is like known for, you know, past times. I mean, when were the pyramids built? When was the structure formed? You know, so there's something about a structure that is like being changed around. You know, even being led to how we have two snakes here. So I'm even seeing like maybe there were two eras or two periods, but then these snakes are also different. One is a black snake, one is a black and white snake, and one is a black and orange or yellow snake. And then plus in this card we have the two yin and yangs. So it's like the information, it could actually be coming from two sources, or it could be a matter of fact like the information comes through and then you get it confirmed through something or through someone, but then that is ultimately what brings the balance. And interestingly, you know, I'm being drawn to the yellow in these cards where there is some purple as well, purple and yellow. Thinking black and yellow. I mean, just like my hair, black and yellow. But like the purple and yellow, it's like, you know, something comes through, like even through your intuition, you know, third eye crown, and then it gets further confirmed as you start processing it and you ground this energy. And then by the time it gets to your sacral, I mean your solar plexus, because we're talking about the sun, then it starts to make sense. You know, it could also be something to do with you know, your birth, because I'm getting the sacral solar plexus energy. Woo wee! This is deep. But yeah, it's not meant to cause sorrow, is what Spirit is saying. It's, again, the truth comes at a cost. You know, I'm thinking about the Queen of Pentacles. Not the Queen of Pentacles, okay, but no mistakes. Let me correct that. Finish the thought and we'll get back to Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Swords. You know, the Queen of Swords in the traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck, there's like a hand stretched out and there's a hand that she's carrying on the sword of truth. So it's like, yes, we're parting the ways, you know, we discerning, you know, we're cutting through the noise, which is what's happening here, you know, with that sword that she's showing there. But also, you know, it's being aware that, again, yeah, the truth comes at a cost, you know, like, you are going to change, you are going to realize that the perspective is different. And I mean, that also kind of relates to the download that I got earlier about how the perspective has changed on time. And if this is about, you know, something like very old, your world, you know, Egyptian energy, like old school, you know, even I was getting something about children earlier on as well. So it's like, it changes how you view your life or how things have played out within your life. Yo, that's interesting. You know, with me, I'll get back to the Queen of Pentacles shortly, but now Spirit's leading me again to how this looks like a glass, and it's like the glass has been shattered, because it might have seemed like the glass was like that wilting flower, but now it's being shown or being exposed for what it truly is. So the glass has been shattered by the sword of truth. But anyway, with the Queen of Pentacles, I think why that was coming through is that it's like it's a change to your home. It's a change to, you know, how you know, when I think of the Queen of Pentacles, I'm looking at somebody who's got all of their things in order, you know, who's very like homey, caretaker type of an energy, and is very focused on like making the best of what they have. You know, it's like taking something and looking after it, and it now comes back to me with that encapsulating energy and the overextending. It's like, are you gonna overextend for something that actually isn't yours? Or like, imagine you're overextending for a family that's not even your own, you know, because you are now thinking that they're your family, but they're actually not. Yo, that's crazy. But you are now, with me thinking about the Queen of Pentacles, now you'll be able to focus your attention to where it actually needs to go, because again, the X has changed, the spot has changed. Where focus grows, or where energy goes, focus flows. Where focus goes, energy grows. Hey man, you know that saying, like, where focus goes, energy grows, and flows, energy. Yo, energy, 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 energy. Pentacles, pentacles, pentacles. Guys, this could be having to do with something with your money as well. Yeah, but again, career, home life, with me even speaking to the Queen of Pentacles, could also now be speaking to a female, having done something or to change your home life or your home structure. Whoa. Okay, Spirit's like, okay, let's go to the right hand side. We'll get back to that. Again, at the back, we've got Dominion. And this one is, I'm going to take this as what, Two of Wands. This is what, Aries. I think, right? It's giving Aries. I mean, look at that fire in there. That's like, it's going, you know. Two of Wands, of course, that's like you having had your plan. This is you having had your blueprint. And now, you know, the next step is you being courageous. You letting yourself be seen, because now you got to act on the plan, which would be taking a step towards your higher self, which would have been the Three of Wands, right? But here it's Dominion. You know, something that came to mind, I was thinking about the Emperor as well. How, you know, the Emperor rules over his kingdom. That's where it's like, no, we don't need to shuffle. Hold up. Okay, tell me. Courageous Peony. The Ten of Discs. Okay. Oh! Bruh. Okay, you know what, man? This is crazy. I should have got this the first time. Dude, and you know what, man? I'm gonna trust that everything happened the way that it should have, but this deck is starting to make more sense right now. Okay, but also something about 213, right? Something switching around, and I think Spirit actually put it like this for me, is to show me what's actually happening. But anyway, this is the Two of Pentacles. And the Two of Pentacles is, of course, now that evaluation, right? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I just had to see the Ten of Pentacles for this to all make sense. You know, as soon as the wealth comes in, it's all gonna make sense. Hey, my G. When the wealth comes in, it's all gonna make sense. When the wealth comes in, it's all gonna make sense. Why? The truth is the truth. My boy, listen, this is the Two of Pentacles. Like, the visuals, my G. Wow. Woo. Yo, the next level, the next layer of this message. From the first pentacle to the second pentacle, look, whatever this new information is, this new start, it's gonna cause some kind of reevaluation, right? I'm even getting the Judgment card in my head right now. But we're gonna have to weigh things up. We're gonna have to make a decision. It's like, it's either you're gonna live your truth, or it's gonna get you into sorrow. So you're gonna have a decision to make. Yo, you know, you're gonna weigh things up. Where energy grows, where energy goes, focus flows. Where energy flows, focus grows. Like, switch it around. I think there's a reason why I'm messing up that statement right now. In fact, I'm not messing it up. Nothing's messed up. Everything is as it should be. Listen, you know, what is it that we actually want to manifest? And because we now have an idea of what we want to manifest, I mean, you know, I'm thinking about the Ouroboros, the life, the release, the cycles, right? And this energy, this manifestation energy, this juggling, this weighing things up, you know, and again, now it makes sense why I was drawn to the Libra on this card, is to say, you bring things into balance. You know, put 8 on a side, and that's infinity. Ooh, it looks like 2 eyes right now as I put it like this. So can you see through what's that eye in Naruto? Shit. Damn, I haven't watched this show in a long time. But it's that eye, man, that like the Uchihas have. But anyways, it changes shape, right? It's the red eye. Oh my gosh, Sharingan, yes. So it's like that eye changes shape, and I'm actually seeing that right now. Is that like once you can change your perspective on how you see things, how you weigh things up, that's actually what's gonna break through the glass with this truth. Woo, man. Okay, okay, okay. I'm reloaded. Let's go. What time is it? 59:29. Just for this deck to start making sense. Goodness gracious. I mean, we've been at it. And I trust, you know what? Listening to this again is going to be interesting. But anyways, the courageous peony. Multifaceted, unique nature. Let yourself be seen. Okay, one more. Okay, we'll take this one right here. Ooh, okay. Okay, let's put this one on the side right there. 10-4. I was just getting like something about like, you know, police on like those walkie-talkies, like 10-4. I don't know if this is like I don't know what that code is, because you know there's a code for every infringement. But there's something about like, you know, we're clocking something's being pointed out. And with me looking at this, let's see, completion. This is 4 of Wands. Whoa, 10 of Pentacles to 4 of Wands. Goodness gracious, this is powerful. I just feel all these shivers right now. It's like you have, ooh, yo, bro. You have so much to give. You have so much to share. You have so many talents, my guy, my girl, wherever you are. You have so much. You are multifaceted, right? You are unique, and this is your time to be seen. And the result of that is 10 of wealth, 10 of discs, 10 of wealth. Your wealth is being multiplied 10 times. And completion. This is like the 4 of Wands, 11, things coming into balance. I'm even seeing the Sagittarius there. Oh, you know, Sagittarius energy has been coming through strong. But I mean, just look at all these symbols. It's like each pentacle is coming through because of all these different facets. It's like one comes through because of your mind, one because of what you do with your hands, one because of your love, another one because of your time, another one because of your home, another one from another idea. You get what I'm saying? The Lord is near. Like, what? Yo, this is lit. This is so lit, bruh. This is so lit. Whoa. This is crazy. I'm not being drawn to like the images on these cards. And what were we saying that the two elements that are gonna come in? I think we said we had air and we had water. So we need fire and we need earth, right? Now watch this. Here are two animals shown on this side. There's fire there in the background, and it looks like the air is bringing in the earth, and then the fire will rise up. And we're not just saying that the fire is, you know, causing the air to stir up. I'm also looking at this as like a wheel of fortune as well. But it's like the connection of these different elements is what brings this completion in and makes it all come together. Again, I'm getting fire energy with that. Is that another Aries symbol, right? Oh wait, where did I see this? Oh, here with the Dominion. So yeah, definitely some strong fire energy. But this is like a homecoming. It's like you getting back to yourself from expressing yourself, you know, letting yourself be seen, but being so courageous, like bringing out the fire within, because this fire is in the background, and you bringing it forward is actually what's gonna like bring things into balance. You know, we were not just saying there was the X has changed, you know, there's an energy exchange, but here's like an X, depending how you want to look at it. Here's a new target, here's a new bullseye. And it's like you are targeting completion, you are targeting wholeness now, because I mean, if I think of like the 10 of Pentacles, this is like abundance, this is generational wealth, this is like a legacy, this is an empire. And you realize that it's not just for you, but it's for even people around you, the surrounding, here's this thing coming to completion, it's coming whole. So this looks like the big pentacle starts itself off small or leads up to other pentacles, but it's like it's spreading, and you'll get like symbols, signs, and synchronicities that are going to tell you where to go, where to take this, and you'll be guided by the elements in doing so. Oh, I just saw my light flicker there. Very much led by the heart. I think, connecting to your heart is actually going to give you greater intention and a greater reason to let yourself be seen. And it's like, because your heart is pure, that's why you are actually being placed in this position, because you're doing it from the heart. You're not doing it with like some kind of like hidden agenda or intention. And I'm even being brought back to how in this card there are some pentacles that are like in the background, and it's like, your wealth could have came to you in so many different ways, but then it's coming to you in this way, the right way, with the right signs, with the right people, because of the time that has passed by. And it's like you could have actually been trapped in something earlier. It's like, how I was saying, like this offering's like a new opportunity, a new contract, a new opportunity, or something like that. It's like, imagine having signed like let's say like you're an artist and you sign like a record deal, but then that record deal has like a clause in it that's like you don't own your masters, you can make your money, but we take like 80% type of a thing. It's like you were saved from something, which is why it was like kept hidden from you in a sense. But now that you have this information, you can freely express yourself. I'm even getting an attack on your finances as well. So you being multifaceted is actually a good thing, because if you have different gifts, if you have different ways of making money, then if somebody attacks one of those ways, then you can like not revert to, but rely on another way as well. So even revert, it's almost like they can go back, but you can also go back. You know what I mean? It's like you've got something to fall back on ultimately. Yes, thank you, Spirit. Not every venture is like your main thing. So it's like you have so many gifts that you can now express yourself in these different areas, knowing that like even if one of them doesn't necessarily like yield the outcome that you want, you can still try out something else. But with me looking at how these cards are coming in, 10-4, 10-4, this thing is being announced. Ooh, look at that. It's my time for Bible study. It's gonna be documented, it's gonna be read, it's gonna be out there. It's written. There I am thinking about reading and Bible study, and we've been talking about contracts. So definitely pay attention to any like documentation, oh, this incense though. Today I got some red rose. That's the red rose that's burning today. Yeah, man. Whatever the main passion is, it's bussing. There's something that's really dope that's gonna come through from that, and you're gonna make the most of that. I think it's time for you to, have this completion, have this homecoming, have this graduation, have this promotion. And all of these funds are coming in because you've been promoted, because you stepped out. When I think about even pains in our bodies, like it's showing up because it's like it's coming up because it's coming out. Even with pain, even with energy that we transmute. That's how it always is, right? And then also courageous. There's this Bible verse that I'm thinking about right now, is that we've been given a spirit of courage. We are not meant to fear. I'm not recalling the exact words right now, but this is, I would say, in my case, even I'm thinking of peony, thinking about a horse. So it's like, coming from even 2025 to like 2026, it's like from snake to horse. Can you be the courageous horse? Can you like move ahead? Can you let yourself be seen so that, you know, these funds can come in, the completion can come in. It's like time is now and the horse is moving, gang. Like, we gotta move. You know, even with me making this sound, it's like you know, the trampling of a horse. So yo, let's go. All right, let's see what we got here. The Star Keeper, cosmic ancestors, see the light by staying grounded. Ooh, remember I was saying something about like how this information's gonna come in and like get grounded. But anyway, let's see what we got. Spirit. Oh, okay, no, that's too many cards, but I'll take the first one. We've got the 7 of Swords, and that's futility. Okay, one more. Okay, Spirit says one more over here. Wow. Like, wow. Interesting. 7 of Swords, 5 of Swords, 6 of Swords. We've been talking about air so much. We've been talking about air. And I mean, there's a sword again. And the discs. So air and earth energy. Yo, man. And we've got cups once. We've got wands once. Interesting. Yeah, but a lot of earth, a lot of air. Okay. Yeah, but definitely something in the mind, you know. And you know, I'm being led to seeing how the Star Keeper card, it looks like there's a download coming through. It's hitting the crown or the third eye immediately, and it's like coming down. And you know, beneath them here in this chest area, it looks like there's a portal, of course, you know. It's like an arch that we can towards confirmation burp that like we are going through. Yo, you know, a lot of the things that we are doing start in our minds. And I'm remembering, you know, when Pastor Tim was like speaking to thinking and thoughts and differentiating the two. There's a difference between what we are thinking and our thoughts, because our thinking is the capacity that our thoughts are held within. So you could be thinking of good ideas, but if the vessel for the thoughts, you know, you have poor thinking, it doesn't matter if you have good thoughts, you know, but it's once you change the vessel, once you change the opening, you know, how these things are coming through, that it is ultimately going to shift the whole situation, shift the perspective, you know, from overextension to just being able to, you know, extend just enough, I would say. And you know, with all of these being swords, it's definitely something that's in the mind, and the mind is a tool. You know, we need to master our tool. This is our manifestation tool, because, you know, I'm even reminded of a friend of mine, David, rest in peace. It's like he taught me about the concept of thoughts to reality, where the things that we think about ultimately are manifested in our reality, in our world. So should we spend time thinking about bad outcomes or negative outcomes? Because by that logic, thinking about negative outcomes would mean that those things are going to manifest in our reality. You know, if you thinking about bad, or you expect bad, and then bad happens, you've aligned with that frequency of like having a bad day. You know, I was just listening to another reading or another message on YouTube, I think it was yesterday or the day before, where a guy speaks to how he made an example of this guy woke up in the morning and he like stubbed his toe, and because he didn't like appreciate stubbing his toe, like he had a quote unquote bad start to his day, and then that was followed by, you know, red robots, traffic, late for meetings, you know, things like that. So it's like as soon as you tap into one frequency, then it like perpetuates itself, because he had told himself that I'm having a bad day today. So, hey, what's up? What's good? What's good, Fly? You're flying? And exactly, that's what we gotta do. Focus on the flying, right? This fly just decided to make itself known in the reading. And flight, of course, air. We've got these swords here with the air. So if we now think about it in a different way, it's like, yo, maybe a change in perspective, you know? Like, this guy could have easily thought to himself, like, yo, I'm in this traffic because I'm actually being saved from an accident further down the line. You know, I stubbed my toe because I actually need to improve the setup of my home. Like, can we see our dark, negative, bad, evil experiences with spirits, with people, with places, with spaces as an opportunity to learn and transmute the energy, you know, become the alchemist, become I'm seeing your science, you know, become the scientist, become the magician. But yeah, positive thoughts will ultimately align us with positive energies, positive frequencies, positive vibration. I mean, I'm even being spirits reminding me now of like how I start the readings, you know, with the intro, and I'm saying like in the highest vibration we dwell. So we live there, we stay there, we embody that. And it's not a matter of saying like we don't take time to clock these negative energies, or we're not aware of them, but it's a matter of saying that we work with them, we integrate them, we understand them, we learn from them, and you know, we can show like those sides of ourselves. I mean, look at me today, first time using this deck, and you know, granted it started clicking at a later point in time, but it's like, am I now gonna let myself not be seen by, you know, figuring something out on camera, like in a platform, you know what I mean, just as an example? But it's a matter of saying that like I'm trusting the process, that no matter what light, no matter what dark comes from this, it is part of the message. You know, I'm even being led to like the dark snake, the light snake, and you know, both of them have spots. So it's to see that even in the light there's a dark, and even in the dark there's a light. That's where this yin and yang is also coming through together. That's why we've got these two snakes coming together, you know. And we need to weigh things up, we need to evaluate, and ultimately, you know, what's going to keep us grounded, right, is that perspective, knowing that, you know what, yo, what's that song I was listening to by Mick Jenkins and Earth Gang? Anyways, it's okay, I forgot the name, it'll come, but it's something about something about the light. Actually, I think that's what it's called. I think the song is called The Light. But in one of the verses he says, not Mick Jenkins, the guy in Earth Gang, the not the one with the dreads, the other dude, you know, I always see him with glasses on and like short hair. But he says, imagine what could go wrong and be thankful that, like, or imagine what's the worst that could go wrong, or the worst outcome, and be thankful that that's not what has actually happened, and that is what's actually going to bring you peace. Okay, I'm butchering it a little bit, but I think you get it, right? You imagine the worst case scenario, like for example somebody dying or you going bankrupt, and you realize like, oh shit, I'm still alive, like I'm actually not bankrupt. So that brings you peace, like, oh, okay, so I still have a chance to, you know, be. So you are seeding the light by staying grounded. It's like seeding the light, it's like you get these downloads and they keep you grounded, because you know that that information is going to apply itself in some shape or form, and it is coming from your ancestors, because you are the star keeper. You are receiving these downloads because you are like kind of being given a heads up so that you can stay focused on your mission. I'm even looking at how this is like a, you know, a line going straight down, so you can discern, you know what I mean? Like I'm even getting like, you know, a shark in the water with its fin. It's like your antenna is up, but you now can't lose sight of what it is that you're needing to do, which is, focus this energy. I'm even looking at how, around this Egyptian figure over here, there's like a dome, and it's like you protecting your energy, protecting the information. It's important sometimes not to share things with people. You don't know what the intentions might be, but also, growth happens underground. You know what I mean? It's like the roots are spreading, and then by the time somebody blooms, by the time somebody blossoms, sometimes you don't even know what went into it. Sometimes the growth is unseen. The journey within is unseen. Like, you don't know how, like, I'm thinking about how, like, with family gatherings, people would always ask you, like, hey, how's life? What's happened since I last saw you? And they are looking for like these visual cues of how your life has changed. But then if you tell them, like, I grew spiritually, I changed my diet, that's like not something that they can see, because it's inside of you. You know how changing your diet makes you feel. You know that your connection with your ancestors is greater and stronger, but they can't see that. They can't fathom that. They can't put that into some kind of an understanding that makes sense to them. They can't make sense of that. And we are being reminded right now by spirit that, as much as a lot of these things start in our mind, we need to focus on what is unseen, which would be these downloads, because things that other people don't know. You receive information about things that other people don't know, and you're meant to keep these things and ultimately stay grounded and like be on the earth, which is one of the energies that we were saying is required here, or which has presented itself. I mean, we've got the Ace of Discs, the Two of Discs. So 1, 2, we're coming up from 1, 2 to 10. It's like you're skipping this whole 8 part. So 1, 2 to 10. Oh, it's the manifestation. Oh, look at that. My knee's getting itchy. It's like you're gonna take a leap of sorts. From 1 to 2, then to 10. It's because of your manifestation, gang. And it's because of what I was saying earlier about the Queen of Pentacles, because you've decided to focus, hone in, zone in, tune in, embody this energy. Wow, I felt like I was on a rant there. Boy, I was preaching. But yeah, let's see, what's the time? 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. Yo, balance, my G. Balance, my G. 1, 2, 1, 2. Again, it's being announced, right? 1, 2, 1, 2 on the mic. Yo, you need to speak, bruh. You need to speak. You gotta listen to throat chakra vibes. I mean, look at that. Look at all that blue. Look at all that blue over there. It's like it's being integrated. It's like I'm even getting third eye to throat. There's like purple and blues in here. Yeah, purple and blues. The blues, Monday blues. I don't know if you're like concerned about some of the information that you're receiving, but let's see why. 7 of Swords, futility. 5 of Swords, defeat. Yo, what's that game? Is it Mortal Kombat? And then we've got the 6 of Swords, which is now science. Ooh, look at that. I'm even getting, what's that thing, Scientology and stuff. I'm seeing, the cross there in the middle. But it's interesting how we, like, these are all swords, and it's like at 7 we go to 5, and then we go to 6. So it's like, first, just like run through in my mind, it's like whatever weapons formed against you, or that came against your truth. I mean, just look at all these swords that are coming at the main sword, which is what this sword of truth, right? All the attacks at you living your truth, or even doubting this information, these downloads, it's like you might be even giving yourself reasons not to trust the information that's coming to you. Like, nah, that can't be true. I can't be receiving a download that this person so close to me is actually bad for me. How? It doesn't make sense. But I think you're gonna be getting multiple like signs or incidents or synchronicities, pieces of information. I'm getting 8 of Wands energy right now, where you can see that no matter what comes against the truth still stands. The truth is still greater than all the other things that are trying to attack or even attach themselves to the truth. You know, I'm seeing here in the background like you know, that folded paper, that animal, the origami. And it's like, no matter how somebody tries to flip this thing, change it around, it's paper. It's still paper. You can try to trick me and make it look pretty, make it look like a bird, but I know what an actual bird looks like. You know, I'm getting Aquarius energy here with me just like looking at like the waves there. I don't know if that is Aquarius, but it's giving that vibe. And again, you know, with me also seeing the moon, it's you know, like a passage of time, like with your truth, right? And people attacking your truth, or you know, forming weapons against you, it's like you are going to need to just like spend some time thinking about it. Of course, it's in the mind. And you know, with the moon, like I always think of that card as like sleep on it. Of course, we don't have the moon here, but I just think to myself, like, how can we like pick things apart, look at it from all these different angles, so that we can truly understand what it is, what it was, what it could be, you know, the how, when, who, what, when, you know, all of that. And yeah, it's just coming through that, like, you know what, no matter how people might try to bend the truth, shape the truth, I'm looking at all these different handles on these swords, you know, they'll come in different ways, presented in different ways. I'm even seeing like messengers, you know, even how I was getting like the Eight of Wands. It's like different forms, different attacks, different synchronicities, different inclinations, different epiphanies, you know, different insights. But your truth is still your truth. Like, what is meant for you, your destiny, your path is still your path. Like, nobody's gonna F with that, you know. A Spirit's like, yo, why don't you just swear, bro? Nobody's gonna fuck with that, like, for real. Because, you know what? It's the truth. It's the truth, you know. We can't hide from it. You know, we can't sugarcoat this thing. We're gonna have to be blunt. Woo! These swords are blunt. These swords are blunt. That's why they can't get to you. That's why your sword cut even through other swords. Ooh. And that's what leads to the defeat. Because all these swords try to come against you. You know, I'm even getting this pentagram in reverse, and it's like at the background, it's because they were led by the devil energy. Woo-wee. And the devil gets defeated. They might try to win at all costs. It's like, what trap can I set them up in right now? You know, the enemy is so divisive. Like, they will do anything in their power to come at you. But wow, like, you know, I'm even getting that example of what I was thinking about now with like somebody signing a contract and like having a clause or a statement in there where they try to like, you know, just like steal your, you know, your abundance, you know, your riches, you know, get in the way of what is truly yours and get in the way of your completion. But it's like, can you trust that the Lord is always going to be there? You know, it's interesting how, you know, with all of these cards, you know, the swords are like coming towards the center, coming towards the center, coming towards the center. And on this one here, it's like your faith, you know, I'm looking at that as the cross. And it's like, you know how Jesus died on the cross, but he rose again. It's like this cross is going to rise up. The truth is going to rise up. And now what they had folded, oh, wow, I was getting origami on this side, but now it kind of looks like a windmill. And the windmill, of course, it's also moving the air. So it's like so much movement is happening here, where they are trying to come with attacks very quickly, but then you're also escalating and rising very quickly. The truth is coming in quickly. Like, yo, movement, gang. Movement. Like, but anyway, just like the Lord rised on the third day and on the third card, what do we have here? You know, the science, it all made sense. It all like kind of came into a certain structure, right? And even though they tried to keep it down, get to its center, that was not the agenda. Because from 5 to 6, also with the 6 of Wands, I mean, not 6 of Wands, okay, cool, we'll park that, we'll get back to 6 of Wands, but 6 of Swords is, you know, in the traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck, it's like moving from rough waters moving to still waters. Goodness gracious, now my neck just got sore on the left hand side. Again, it's like this truth, they don't want this truth to come out. They don't want this truth to come out. Guys, what's going on? I don't want us to speak this thing into existence, because now we clocked it. That's why it was defeat, right? They were trying to win at all costs. They were trying to be petty. They were trying to steal from you your blessing, and that's what's actually going to come in, actually, this information about this hidden secret, this truth. And look at what the truth does. It makes people compete about who has the greater truth, and then also trying to come against it with their lies, which are blunt, which are clearly not going to affect the sword of truth, because the sword of truth is only going to cut through the glass and break through the actual noise, break through the other lies or the stories that they've been telling. When you think about stories, it's like got a beginning, got a middle, has an end. It's like no matter which part you tell me, I'm still gonna figure out that, like, you know what, you're talking crap, talking shit. The enemy will try to change up, what's that saying? They try to change history. There's something about, like people changing history, changing the truth over time, trying to suit it, to make it suit themselves. And then ultimately people change the truth so much that, like, change the story so much that they think it's their actual truth again. And that's not the actual case. And what's actual and what's fictional, what's artificial. But yeah, man, there's definitely some movement that's gonna take place here. I'm even getting somebody like, I was talking about the 6 of wands, right? And okay, I'll get to the 6 of wands, but look at this. Look at this. How I was saying that the X has changed. The X has changed. I mean, just look at how, they tried to block this. They tried to block the completion, but the fire rose because of the air, which was the whirlwind, right? And you've transitioned. You've moved on. You have to move on, living your truth, and that's what's rising. Because at the background, the fire is rising. At the background here, the truth is rising. The Lord rose again on the 3rd day, which was the 3rd card. And look at this, the number 3 again with the truth. 1, 2, 3, everything in synchronicity. Whoa. But yes, the reason why I was saying it's 6 of wands is because this is our victory. This is our victory, gang. This is our winning season. This is our public victory. This hidden truth is going to embarrass somebody. Somebody's getting embarrassed, bro. And that's what also God uses us for when we have new beginnings. Sometimes our new beginnings are there simply just to embarrass our enemies. God wants to show to people that, like, prayers get answered, you know what I mean? And your enemy's still alive so they can see you win. So, there, my lips are getting dry. We have to appreciate that, like, sometimes our enemies, while we don't want to have enemies all the time, they are still around because they need to see us win. Goodness gracious. They need to see this vindication. They need to see this elevation. Oh my goodness. Your victory is going to be so public. It's going to be so obvious. I remember saying that earlier. It's because you're the star. You just became a better star, a greater star. While the star was like kind of encapsulated, now the star is filling out the night sky. And all of these different pieces of you are coming out. It's stardust. I'm even being led to that vision of like how, or information or a picture that I saw. But it's a vision actually Spirit is showing it to me. Where like, at a microscopic level, if people look at like the cremation, after they look at the dust following somebody's cremation, they actually found that we are stardust, right? So it's like you are letting out the stardust without even having to die, because you don't look like what you've been through, and you almost like died inside, but you're still showing up on the outside because the snake actually shed its skin. It became this new version, this new form. So you did go through a ego unaliving. You did go through an ego unaliving, a dark night of the soul. And me to say ego unaliving 2 times, it's like, you know, it's like you've been taken through this thing, gang. Yes? No? Okay. Let's go one more card. 13417. Okay, we're gonna just get a message to close. Spirit, give us one message. Oh, you're telling me you're gonna read the book too? Okay. Let's give us one message. Okay, let's just break this deck in the middle. Miracle! Oh, and it's the number 3. 33. Wow. Wow. This is amazing. This is so beautiful. A miracle. The frequency of miracles supports our belief in ourselves as a part of Source, and therefore our belief that anything is possible. Wow. That's so amazing. That is so amazing. Guys, was I not just saying something about, like, I'm not sure, was it early in this reading or in the previous reading? But it's like, you know, the more logical that we are, we don't allow spirit to cook, you know what I mean? We need to let spirit cook out here. We need to let spirit cook out here, man. And, you know, be open to a miracle. Be open to something that defies logic, defies our consciousness. Because it's magical, honestly. It's just magic, you know. Being open to the unknown allows the miracle to come in. But here it says, a miracle can be described as an extraordinary event or occurrence in our everyday reality that cannot be explained within our existing paradigm or belief system. And it is therefore attributed to a higher or supernatural cause. Our belief in the possibility of miracles is closely connected to our belief in the divine itself. And with that belief, you know, I'm being led back to, you know, this 6 of Swords, how, you know, people perhaps didn't believe that, like, Jesus had risen or that he could rise again, because it was prophesied, right? He even told them, like, yo, this is about to happen. And even the whole journey, his ascension was prophesied, right? Okay, it's cool, let's just leave it here. Our belief in the possibility of miracles is closely connected to our belief in the divine itself, and with that belief, our trust in the unlimited possibilities the universe can provide. In these changing times, in the new energy, in the new season, multidimensionality is rapidly saturating almost all areas of our lives and being. There is much we don't understand and cannot explain within our current way of thinking. Yes! Thinking and thoughts, how it all comes together right now. When we relax and accept that we are in an era of many mysteries yet to be revealed, hidden secrets, lost wisdom, we can start living our lives with the expectation that miracles and benevolent change can happen at any moment, because it's coming in. In the miracle activation, the color purple, what is that? Coherence, 31, and we've got 34 here. Coherence and passion. Coherent with our passions. Okay, that will be our side little message there. In the miracle activation, the color purple, right? It indicates the deep connection to the divine. And purples and the blues, we were saying that earlier. Or source. The yellow refers to the yellow. Okay. Seeing a bunch of yellow here as well. Ooh, the wings, the snake, the pentacles, the fire. Blood fire. Who's that? Dalzin. Street Fighter. The yellow refers to our sense of self as we realize that we are spiritual beings in a corporeal body, an expression of the divine. There are 9 light sources around a number that stands for completion. Wow, how everything just comes together and indicates the ultimate realization that we are one with Source, you know. Wow, 333, this is 33, and the boy got the 3s on the fingers, like, what? But guys, this is beautiful, man. Okay, try this. Do you believe in miracles? Have you experienced anything that was miraculous? What miracles do you want to happen in your life? What are you doing to make them happen? We are coherent with our passions. My boy, my girl. Do you realize that life is full of miracles, including every child that is born? Oh, there we go with the children. The Empress energy. We're birthing something new into existence. Every breath we take and every flower that blooms, we were just speaking about that. Oh, so beautiful. Can you think of 5 miracles that you experience every day? Yes, I wake up, I breathe, I eat, I can think, and I can connect to God. That's a miracle. Like, what? But wow, 140, man. Let's leave this right there. You know, I'm just being led to how this is sacred geometry, and I said there was something about sacred geometry, and Spirit just told me, leave this deck here. You know what? I'm in awe. I'm in awe of God right now. Like, what? This is so amazing. This is so high vibrational. May this reading be swell, and in the highest vibration of love we dwell. Thank you, God. Thank you, angels. Thank you, ascended masters, angelic beings wishing us well. This reading has indeed been swell. Oh man, what a blessing. What a blessing. Thank you so much for joining me on Roots Holistic, man. Check the statistics, brother. Peace, gang. Yay, yay.